Feminism often uses the term toxic masculinity. What is toxic masculinity?
Okay.
Who wants to start on that?
Well, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There's no such thing as toxic femininity or toxic masculinity. Masculinity is not toxic and femininity is not toxic. Are human beings capable of behaving in an immoral way? Absolutely. Yes, we can all do wrong. We all have the capacity to do bad things and good things, but that's not a reflection of our masculinity or femininity. Okay. To me, it's just when they use the term toxic masculinity, it's an attack on males and females. Toxic masculinity, toxic femininity. It's an attack on because to me they're trying to get rid of male and female genders. That's what they try. That's why they came out with the gender is a social construct. That's why they came out with that. It's not related to your gender. Is not related to your sex, to the sex that you're born with. That's why they came up with that. It's just another feminist attack on male and female gender because they're trying to destroy men and women. What they want is people to be able to like a man can sleep with a man today and tomorrow can sleep with a woman. You can sleep with an animal. You can do it whatever. That's why they've got all these different genders. Even the names that you hear, some of the names that they come up with, fluid. Some of the names.
Is it gender fluid?
Gender fluid. I need to start looking more into it. But they've got like 73. I don't know how many. But apparently it can be anything. You can, identify as anything, be anything, sleep with it. Like it's however you feel. It's all to do with do as thy will, basically. Jeez. So yeah. So that's my take. That's my take.
What do you think toxic masculinity is?
So what? I mean, first of all, I believe it's weaponizing masculinity. So they're looking at the bad traits of men, and they've coined the word toxic masculinity. And because we live in a world of the polar opposites existing, that means the opposite of toxic masculinity exists, which I've coined the term healthy masculinity. I don't know if it's out there, but I believe it should be. Is it out there?
No, I just said it is now.
Oh, yeah, wicked. So I coined the term healthy masculinity to counter the concept of toxic. And just like there's toxic masculinity, there's also toxic femininity, and there's healthy femininity. But this is the trick now. Both men and women can tap into toxic masculinity traits and feminine masculinity traits. Both men and women can tap into these traits. I
think I'm going to have to agree with Octavio on this one because I think there's toxic masculinity doesn't exist, and it's been made up as a term to demonize men by feminism. And masculinity is masculine, femininity is feminine, and the toxic part is whether people are good or bad. It's probably more to do with morality and that kind of side.
Than the biology of
it. And I don't think that has got a particular relation with the gender.
But I have to say, there's masculine morality. It's feminine morality.
What is masculine morality? Give me an example of masculine morality and give me an example of feminine morality.
Masculine morality would be protection, physical protection.
Okay.
Feminine morality would be physical nurturing, like a nurse. You see how we look at nurses as like a feminine type of role. Like it's because it's feminine traits of like caring
but that's a biological reality that has nothing to do with morality. That's something you're born with.
I mean, morality, caring for someone, empathy, compassion, that would be, for me, that would be feminine traits. That's how it comes that's how it transcends the biological into the mental morality realm.
But doesn't a man care for for women and children when he's providing and protecting.
That's why I said both men and women can tap into these traits.
But that has nothing to do with morality.
That kind of cancels them out, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it that way, but if you want to break it down, it can be broken down if you drill into it. Like to look at it that way, for it to be cancelled out, it means you're just generalizing. But if you drill into it, there's more things going on.
Okay, right.
Morality has to do with right and wrong. Morality has to do with what is right and what is wrong. Okay, and that can be
be expressed in a masculine way and a feminine way.
That can be subjective. That can be subjective depending on that person, right?
Absolutely.
Now, I believe in objective morality, okay, and that comes from my belief in my religion. Now, where biology is something that you're born with. It's almost like it's what you naturally do. You don't. For example, I'm not born with a uterus. I'm not born with the ability to give birth. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I'm a man. You know what I mean? So I'm born stronger than a woman naturally. It's just that has nothing to do with my morality.
Stronger.
Yeah, physically stronger than a woman, and psychologically more logical than a woman. So I'm basically born with these things. This is not something that I chose. This is not something that I made a decision on and so on and decided to now I want to. I'm just born with this this tendency to want to protect a woman. You see what I'm saying? Like, so for example, I'm walking with my missus and someone comes up. I'm not making a choice. I'm the one who's gonna go there. She's the one who's gonna go behind me. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's a natural reaction.
But don't you think not all men are born so naturally inclined?
I think all men are born naturally inclined because their biology says so. Even if they are in the presence of a stronger man, even if they're in the presence, they're still going to do all they can in order to protect that woman. They're still going to do it.
Some men are cowards, man. Some men are born cowards.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm coming from the biological argument. I'm not coming from.
Yeah, so am I. They're biological cowards. What's it? Fight and flight. That's biology, no?
Yeah, that's the
human have that instinct of fight and flight. The ones that are more physically inclined, like you, are the fighters. So you've seen. But there's people born who are physically inclined to flight. So you've seen men. That's how I see it.
So you've seen men running away, yeah, and leaving their family to fend for themselves.
Have you not seen the abandonment of men in society today?
No, that's not what
that's self-evident.
But that's not what I asked.
In
your personal life,
yeah,
from everything that you've experienced on earth, have you ever seen a man, his family's here, children here, women here, and he decided to flee from the scene and leave his family basically just there, unable to in order to fend for themselves? Have you ever seen that example?
I've heard of examples of that in Africa. Actually, I actually have.
I've never seen
African
that.
Stories,
have you ever seen that?
I've heard of that.
Have you ever seen
men
fleeing?
abandoning their families?
No, I never seen it.
What? Men abandoning their families?
Yeah. Now I'm talking about the guy's outside.
Yeah.
He's ready to kill you, and this man.
Hypothetical. Hold on. You're confirming your bias, bro. You're confirming your bias.
I've never seen in every situation, like, you don't even have to go into hypotheticals. Just look at your experience yourself. Have you ever seen, the question was, have you ever seen that in front of you where a man left his family and just ran off knowing that the children and his mother and the mother was in imminent danger?
That's an extreme example confirming your bias.
I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen that. But
do you think it's possible?
Anything's possible, but most men don't do that.
But then again, I haven't seen many families facing imminent danger just on my day to day.
Exactly. We don't live in that environment.
Yeah.
More accurately, since we're hypotheticals, to counter his hypothetical, lots of men have had families. Yeah, a Polish woman at work. So this is actually a true story that I'm saying. She lived with her mom, her dad, and her dad abandoned his family by telling his mom the mum, I'm going out for cigarettes and never return. That's flight. Is that not a coward? Is that not a flight? Thank you. So there are men that do flight, and that's biological.
That's different. That's
that is toxic masculinity.
Is that what you call toxic masculinity?
Yeah.
I don't call that toxic
coward.
masculinity.
I would put cowardly under toxic masculinity. You're abandoning your duty as the father.
Yeah,
without the armed forces outside.
Yeah, yeah. Do men abandon their duties? Yeah, absolutely.
So I've confirmed my bias with an actual true story / hypothetical.
Nah, I've never seen a person under a family under imminent danger, and the man just decided to abandon them. I've never seen that.
Mo just said we don't live in that environment anyway.
I've never seen a family in imminent danger.
Exactly.
I've never seen a woman in imminent danger, and the boyfriend just ran off. I'll tell. Do men leave their families? Well, we know most don't.
Some Biggie Smalls lyrics.
We know most don't. But the men that abandon their families and they go off with another woman or for whatever reason, this is not a situation where the family's in imminent danger. Yes, he is. The reason why he's looked down upon society is because it's not normal.
It doesn't have to be in imminent danger.
Let me finish.
Just the whole point of being abandoned, you're putting your family in danger.
Let me finish.
To some degree. It doesn't have to be like some imminent danger.
I agree with you, and I agree that any man that leaves his family, every man will look at him as if he's done something wrong. He's done something evil. You've abandoned.
We live in anyway.
You've abandoned your family. How can you ever abandon your family? Why? Because we understand that biologically our duty is to protect and provide. That's why when a man decides to do something like that, it is men looked down upon because we understand what our role is. Do you see what I'm saying? So everything that I'm saying is completely biological.
But it's normal now. Men have abandoned their families.
No, actually, according to statistics, women abandon families. Women are the ones that destroy families.
But like if men are the leaders, how did the women get the power? How did they get there?
Feminism. There's a system that's operating under feminism that allows women to basically do things to break up the family.